Morning. Ooh, sunny. I always get everywhere early, so we'll give it a little bit of time for people to join. I hate being late. Hello, Laura. Laura, you let me know if there's any problems with the video. I changed rooms since yesterday, so I'm trying to hit this wave button also. Trying to be real cool. It's my first time going live, so y'all be easy on me. Laura, you're perfect. You're funny. All right, well, it's 10 a.m., so I guess I can go ahead and kind of get started as people join. My name's Shannon Anderson. I am a local artist here in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm originally from California. I moved here. It's going to age me, y'all, but I moved here 21 years ago to play softball for Auburn University, and never left. I don't know what happened. I thought I would go back, but I didn't. I guess I fell in love with the South, or maybe I just fell in love with the people of the South. Well, let's see, creative background. I didn't really explore arts much growing up. I was, like I said, I played softball, so I was really focused on sports, and I never really took art classes or did any electives like that. I mean, I took drama, so I guess that's kind of artsy. But I did decide when I got to college that I was kind of like interested in marketing and graphic design in a way. So I was like, okay, I'll start with marketing. And I was like, maybe I should like explore this creative side. So I started taking those classes and I fell in love with it. And I do graphic design today, which is, I wasn't even sure when I went to get that degree if that's what was going to happen, but it did. I work for the Southern Poverty Law Center doing graphic design. Been doing that for almost 9 years now. And I really, really enjoy the work, which I think during my time there, it's really changed what kind of artist I am. It's really pushed me into the route that I've taken in my personal art, because you get a real fast education when you work in a social justice organization. And I really grabbed onto that and started to really enjoy that work. And I was like, you do all these things during the day, and that, like are projects that are given to you, and then you get these other ideas that maybe you can't explore because that's not part of the boundaries that you were given at work. So I started exploring things in my own time, which I guess, let me get up, kind of started as you can see, I have a lot of art all around me that's social justice inspired, so that I have it while I'm working. But it kind of started with protest signs. So like when during the last election, not the 2 elections ago, I started focusing a lot on immigration because of everything that was going on the border. I also have gotten into, women's rights, which are obviously race, class, and gender issues. So I started making protest signs because I was like actively going to protests, and I wanted to like kind of have my own art there and like express myself my own way. And I found that to be like a really good outlet. So I started doing that, and I started sending people protest signs to like other states when they were going to protest. And it really, it kind of it kind of got exciting, right? Like I was like, okay, now I'm like really like invested in doing my own hand lettering and my own like take on how to express myself on views that I feel really strongly towards. So naturally, I am it's a little scatterbrained, obviously. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. So I'm really lucky that I have a job that provided me with this little ditty right here, this iPad, because it is really what has saved my life. Because an Apple Pencil you can erase really easy, so your mistakes can go right away and you can undo, which is a dream. So we are all scatterbrained, Laura. That's the curse of the artist, I think. But like, so for instance, something that I recently, well, not recently, I guess 2020 got really into was making sure that everyone was exercising their right to vote. It's one of my favorite things I started to do. So I have like gotta turn this camera. Sorry, I'm scaring my dogs too. So I started going through and I was like, how can I like do my own small campaign on voting? So I went through and started doing every state with the word vote, which it started in Alabama, obviously. And then that led me to like this crazy idea of like making posters for this, like what could this turn into? So I kept going, obviously, like you can see there's like a whole, like, let's see if I can like I did different renditions. I tried different, all sorts of things, but I was like, okay, so this is cool. I'm gonna go with this. And then I was like, how can I get this out a little bit more? So look at me scatterbrained. I made it a sticker. And I was like, people can go and just pop this on things or put it on a tumbler or slap it. I've seen it on the back of like parking signs here in Montgomery. I've seen it in the bathroom at Crew, if anybody goes there. And I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. And then, as we all know, I started doing this and COVID hit, which, my goodness, that changes your perspective on everything. We were sent home from work. We started working from home. So I was spending a lot of time, as somebody who's single and, lives alone, I spent a lot of time trying to like fill up my like space and also decide how I wanted to cope. Right. So I was like, what can I do to A, take up time, but B, like also, make some kind of difference or change or, I don't know, continue my passion, but also like stay mentally sane during the time. So I did start making more stickers, and then it became kind of like a thing, which I have, you can follow me at Social Just Stickers. See, little pun. I'm super funny. For a bunch of them, but I was like, what can I do that like would be like a fun project during COVID? And it turned into like a really fun project during COVID, but also like, what's a good way for people, A, to express themselves like on like tumblers or computer laptops or whatever, or like what's like a kind of low level tagging your town by like slapping stickers on things maybe you're not supposed to put stickers on, but you do anyways. So I started like really getting involved in it. One of the second ones I did was obviously Ruth. When she passed, that was, one of those things that I had a real hard time dealing with, as I'm sure most people did. Black Lives Matter, another Ruth, the Blind Justice, like a tarot card. Love is Love, also shameless promotion. Join me again at 3 for the Artists and Activism. It's not just me, but like I'll be there. And so if you're enjoying this, maybe you'll enjoy that too. It's for advocating for greater inclusivity for the LGBTQ community, which I'm a part of. And so I'd love to see you there too. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. I did just like inspirational things, right? I also love Frida, so I couldn't help myself. Megan Rapone, equal pay for women, resist any way you want to. More Ruth, because gosh, darn it, I love her. But yeah, so I started doing stickers, right? And I sell them extremely cheap because I just want to make a little bit of money, but also just support making them. And kind of addressing the issue of the fact that art is unfortunately a really, really expensive thing to collect, right? Like some of these I was lucky enough to get at reasonable prices because of like things like catching, things online where there was like deals. But for the most part, it's like I love Shepherd Ferry, but that's like, you're spending a lot of money on art, and I love to surround myself with art. Every city I go to, I try to find some local artist and bring back a piece. I can kind of show you that. But I travel a lot, and it's very dark in here. But let's see. I brought back that little guy too. But just some funky pieces of art that, some local person that I no longer remember their names has created, but that, kind of reminds me and inspires me of ways to take my art in different perspectives. Try to learn something from other people and surround myself with things that inspire me so that my art can grow. And also, it just makes me really happy. But anyways, so the stickers, it's, not everybody has a ton of money. So if you can buy a $2 sticker that somebody's created and feel like you have like a unique piece of art from someone who's local, I thought that was a really neat way to kind of get art into people's hands and also make a statement with it, right? It's important to share your beliefs and voice your thoughts, no matter what they are. And, maybe by having something that like this on a Tumblr, someone might ask you a question and maybe it starts a conversation and we kind of move further as people, right? I think art's a universal language. It's a way to talk to everybody. It's a way to talk to people that don't speak the same language as you. It's a visual. It's empowering, I think. It's really important that we find ways to get art into people's hands and art into people's world. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I can answer questions, or I can just keep talking about myself. I don't know what. I can show you some other things I've been working on my iPad, my mistake machine, instead of using a regular pen. Let's see. Oh, I got kind of into this idea that the back of the Capri here in Montgomery is this crazy awesome space for a mural. I'm not a muralist. Sunny Pot, who is on here, is, so she should do something about that. But Oh, yeah, I do have some of my lamps around, oddly enough. Here's a lamp. I also make lamps when I get bored. Let there be light or something. I don't know. But yeah, I get bored really easily. So here's a lamp. This one doesn't have a thing on it yet, but wine bottle. I don't know. I'm just constantly trying to create, if you will. But anyways, what I was going to say about the mural thing is I started doing this thing too where I was like posting different ideas on the back of the Capri. Just trying to, I don't know, get Montgomery more ready for the idea that we could have some more public art, right? Free art, things that like people don't have to pay for, that is up for everybody, that would make I don't know, people more excited when they're here. I just recently went to Huntsville for the first time. I did it during COVID because I was like, I can avoid people and be by myself and just like walk around. But they have a mural trail there, right? And it's a way to get to know downtown, and it's a way to get to know the city a little bit because you're walking around trying to find these murals that are on a trail. And I keep thinking like, oh, how could we do something like that here? Especially in some of these, these little neighborhoods like Cloverdale or Cottage Hill or down near Capitol Heights, some of these older neighborhoods, like get public art up in these neighborhoods, but especially get public art going in downtown, which again, I know this is about me, but Sunny Pock has done a ton of these murals, and I think like her Selma mural kind of started the city embracing that kind of art, and it doesn't have to be social justice. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm here for, but like, it doesn't have to be that. But it's kind of got the city leaning in a direction that I think is really important, right? That art is beautiful, and we have all of these, like these older buildings and these spaces that I think if we could, embrace a little bit of what New Orleans has, a little bit of what Huntsville has, a little bit of Atlanta. I feel like Mobile has a lot of murals going on. And just getting our local artists out there and letting them express themselves in ways that beautify the city, right? It's really important to me. So a lot, like, stickers are my small way of doing it because I have never done a mural, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. But let's open the conversation to art and open the conversation to, which we're doing this here, right? What can we contribute as artists to where we live, make a statement, make positive change, and I don't know, support one another. I don't know if there's any questions that anybody has or would like to discuss. We can do whatever we want because, like, I'm in charge of this right now. So if you guys, you don't have to stay on topic. You can ask me anything. I'm here for it. I'm all about breaking the rules. I mean, like, just a little. Not, like, really, like, I don't want to get in trouble, but, like, I don't want the museum not to ask me back, but, like, we could break the rules a little if you want to. Laura's laughing at me. I'm just saying, whatever you want. I'm here for you. What else have I been working on? I do a lot of portraits, which I haven't really talked about. I mean, some of my stickers do it, kind of have showed it, but one of the things I'm really, really into is promoting women as the feminist that I am, but doing portraits that are built through type. And I think it's like a really neat way to to bring attention to like an important figure, but also, you know, like make a statement too with some of their quotes, their words. These are just some of the women during maybe the past 2 years, I'd say, that I felt like, obviously she became a sticker since she doesn't have the full, well, Shirley. But I think it's a way to, a neat way to draw attention to important figures. I also, don't get me wrong, I also draw men. Little George O'Keeffe action. I do draw men. I don't want you to think that this feminist doesn't also appreciate men that have made great statements in our world. I'm trying to like look over my phone while I do this. Like this young lady right here, changing the whole environmental game. I think it's fun to play with type and let type take this how you want to. Not to get too political, because we're, you know, that's not necessarily what we're here for. But you know, I think it's neat to take words and let that inspire art, and let it kind of drive a little bit of, you know, what I'm doing. So I do a lot with type. Type is actually where I started. Even when I was in college, type was kind of my, it was my go-to. So I think this is when I really felt like I became an artist, was when I started realizing that I could take type and really transform it into something more meaningful. Here we go. That's one of the ones I was looking for. This is one of the first ones I did. I did it in pencil in pen first, and then transferred it to my iPad and kind of did it real quick. But I also think there's something beautiful about the imperfections of when you work with type. Like, it's not all perfect, but somehow those little tiny imperfections are, especially when you're using an iPad, right? Like I said, it gives you the ability to undo and erase, but I choose usually not to erase everything or fix everything. I think that's kind of like my own artist stroke, if you will. Like when you paint, you can kind of tell by strokes and how people create their art. So I don't fix everything. I leave some things kind of imperfect just because I don't think art has to be perfect, and I don't think that there's a right way to always do anything. Someone's asking me where the video is. Hold on. So I'm answering because, by all means, come join us, right? Anyway, so it's, I don't know, art's this crazy thing, right? I don't know. I look behind me and I go, okay, like that right there, that's an artist, right? Like, my God, if I could draw a human and that be what they look like, holy cow. And then I realized, look, what am I doing to myself? I'm kind of discounting myself, right? Because I do my own thing. I create humans in my own way. I create them as words that form their faces, and it's just a different way to approach the same subject, and really getting to, you know, find a way to all of us embrace who we are as artists, and embrace what makes us different, and embrace the fact that just because we're not perfect and we're not selling art for thousands of dollars doesn't mean that it's not brilliant in its own way. It's a real hard field to find. What kind of public art would you like to see in Montgomery? Everything. So, like I said, I think more murals, number one. Just because I think that like is like a really great way to make a city more interesting and beautify it, but also uplift the community that is a part of it. And I think the art community is a huge part of Montgomery, and it's a huge part that hasn't been seen. So more murals. I would like to see more sculptures, more, like really kind of anything. I'd like there to be busking in this city, like letting local artists get on a corner and jam out. I picture walking downtown near Prevail and thinking that little like nook, right? And I think I've actually talked to some people about the fact that that's like an ongoing idea. But like having pop-ups of local artists selling their stuff while musicians are plugged in and playing. People can grab coffee. I want to say that I think Prevail sells beer too. I can't really remember. COVID really wiped out my memory of like what was cool downtown. But like grab a drink and hang out and listen to music, buy people's art, walk up to the fountain and see that great mural that's around it. Be able to walk up to the next street and see another mural, go up and see Sunny's mural. Really make downtown this place where all forms of art are really embraced and celebrated. And the museum's doing a lot to do that. I'm actually on a committee with the museum where we're talking about this stuff. We're bringing these things up. We are doing our best to find ways to like really promote the local art scene here. So I don't know if I have all the answers. I'm sure I don't. But I do know that, this tiny sticker became an entire sticker company within like a month. And I really did most recently see it in the bathroom at Crew. And that's a start for me. And I think we all have the power to bring more art into this city. And so I think if we keep doing these kind of live events through the museum, which I thank you so much for having me, and thank you for supporting me as a local artist, but also supporting so many local artists and drawing attention to their work and making sure that we're all seen, and also forming these committees to like really, really push that. Because obviously we're not all gallery human beings. Not all of us have the money to become gallery human beings and do that kind of work. I mean, paint's expensive, right? But everything you can do. I mean, look, don't waste a canister that a bottle of vodka came in. Am I right? Anything can be art. So we're roughly at the end of my 30 minutes. I probably rambled a lot. I drank a lot of coffee, but I've had fun talking to you and waving to people. And I appreciate everyone who's joined, and I appreciate the time that was given to me. And again, please feel free to join at 3 p.m. for the Artists and Activism series. They're always really interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff comes up. So bring yourself back at 3. Thanks, Sunny. You're awesome. And I'll leave you with one little last piece of art. I think we should all challenge ourselves. Oh, yes, it's on Facebook Live. Sorry, Laura, I'm the worst. Was Zeke in the picture? Zeke's always trying to creep around somewhere. Let's make a social justice challenge here and really embrace the history of the city and embrace the artists that live here. Thanks for joining, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you at 3 if I see you at 3. Thank you.